Welcome back to the Fertility Diaries. I'm Charly.
And I'm Portia, and each week we are here talking all things fertility, ambition, identity, and everything in between.
We're not here as experts. We're here as two besties, living it, learning all about it, and here for the general chit-chat. And I was going to say a big old catch-up.
A big fat catch-up.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It might not feel like it to you guys because we were in your ears only on Thursday, but we haven't recorded for over a month. Ooh. We did a little batch of records because we knew that it would be busy over the summer for Charly, obviously working, and me and my new job.
Yeah, not just me.
And obviously, I lost poor little Ron, which I was thinking, we had loads of messages in the last week. Yeah.
Like,
I'm so sorry to hear about Ron. And I'm like, oh God, it was like a month ago.
Bringing it all back up.
It was bringing it all back up. Yeah, literally. It's been horrific. But yeah, we're back. I think the next 2 episodes are just mainly going to be a massive catch up over what's been going on in the last month.
Yeah, what we've been doing, yeah.
And then we're aiming to be back on top of it. We just have a little bit of a break in the summer for busyness, but we should be all right now, I think.
Yeah,
and we've got some exciting things coming up, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So should we start as well? Like, you kick it off with what you've been up to?
So firstly, welcome to our new listeners. We have had some new listeners over the last month. So yes, welcome to our lovely corner of the internet. Do you know what someone messaged me on? They haven't messaged me. They wrote on. So basically, I put a box on our podcast Instagram yesterday, and it was a bit like, "Do you want guests? Do you like it when it's just us?" And someone replied saying, "I love it when it's just the two of you. It's so cozy and wholesome."
Oh,
how like what nice.
I've always wanted to be cozy and wholesome.
I know. I've never been called wholesome in my fucking life, but I'm here for it.
Same. I love that. Yay! Goal achieved.
We're getting into like cozy season, guys. Yeah. Like we haven't done any autumn records. It will be cozy central. So yeah. And yeah, if you do on that front, like the boxes that we're recording is Friday today. The box is up at the moment. Obviously, by the time you listen to this, it'll be Tuesday. So it'll be gone. But do let us know what you are thinking.
You can always message us as well. Like, just message
anytime.
us.
Please let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. If you've got any people you'd like to have on. Like, do you want guests? I'm personally quite funny when I listen to podcasts with just 2 people and they bring on a guest. I'm like,
it has to be the right guest, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would have to be the right guest for us to have them on the podcast, obviously. But what we are thinking of doing, our bonus episodes are changing slightly. So from Thursday, we are just going to be having recommendation, like a bit of a recommendation section. Don't want to copy Luana. They call it the Reco Seco, but I can't not think of that in my head. So sorry.
No, we have to think of something else, but we can come up with something.
Some recos, and then the dilemma. So yeah, the bonus episode format will be changing slightly. We do find less people listen to the bonus episode, so going to give you a month to use it or lose it, basically. And then maybe we'll just use the bonus for ad hoc if we get any guests or if there's anything we want to discuss on there. So listen if you like the bonus, and if you don't,
let us know. Like, we're open. We're open to feedback, aren't we? So let us know what you think about the bonus, and we'll go from there, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, so on Thursday, join us for dilemmas and bonus recommendations. Right, what have I been up to? So, God, I don't even know where I was when we last recorded, because I would normally, because it's been a while, I would have normally listened back to the episode, but because it was all about Ronnie, I couldn't bring myself to listen to it. It was so upsetting. I am okay. I'm 3 weeks into my new role and I absolutely love it. And I think that's been a really good distraction technique from probably dealing with my feelings when it comes to baby Ron. But we're okay. Reggie's okay. You okay? You couldn't see him over his head today.
He sounded okay earlier.
He was going for that bone earlier, wasn't he?
He was loving life.
So yeah, we are all okay. The new job is incredible. I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
having
thriving.
the time of my life. Been documenting a bit on my TikTok, guys. So if you want to be nosy, then
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, hi Reg. Oh God, I've got to put this. Don't you die next week? Like, this is like,
say that.
Every time a dog comes on the pod.
Yeah. Well, Nala was like being really like mopey last week, and I was like, oh God, we can't do two grief episodes.
Not 2 dead dogs, no.
I was like, no, Nala. I think she's fine. I think it's just the heat was getting to her.
Oh, bless her. I know it's very hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've obviously got a grieving dog. It's hard. One thing grieving by yourself, it's another when your doggy's grieving. It's really sad.
It is.
You come in to say hello? Okay, right.
Hi, Reg.
What was I just saying?
What were you just saying?
I don't know.
I was distracted about Reg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thriving and surviving.
What else? I have had this written down for literally the last month. So I went to get my nails done, and I just go to like a place we don't have to book, like, you know, just a walk-in nail salon. Yeah, so they don't necessarily speak English at this place very well, but they had a poster on the window that said something about you can now get low tox nails, basically. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then I looked at then he got this like new pot out and he was doing my biap, and I was like, oh, okay, this may be. And then I turned the pot around and he was looking at me like, what are you doing? And I was like, good luck. And I was like, that's what was on the poster. However, then I realised it's now come into effect in
it's the end of
July, beginning of August. No, end of July, beginning of August it came in.
Really? Because I saw that all salons, because I was thinking, I went and got my nails done, and then something popped up and it was like online, and it was like by the end of August, all nail salons in the UK have to.
So it's meant to be. It came into effect the end of July, start of August. So this was obviously the end of July. And, I googled it and it said the removal of reproductive hazards, TPO, which is I don't know what it stands for, but TPO was banned in cosmetics across the European Union. The regulatory shift happened because health authorities classified TPO as a reproductive toxicant capable of causing potential fertility issues over prolonged exposure. TPO-free options eliminate this specific threat.
It's interesting. Can I just say, when the nail salon that I go to, it is busy, like in and out, in and out, in and out. And there's been 2 ladies there that have been pregnant, like quite obviously pregnant.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you know, having your nails done is not going to make you infertile, is it? But it's not, you know, it's the same as like using plastics. Like, if you can eliminate it, great. I mean, I do like having my nails done. I do tend to go through a phase every like year. I normally have a little break. I haven't had a break in ages from these. I haven't even had a fresh set in ages. I find with biab, like, just keep going.
Just keep going. I know. That's why I had a break, and then I went back in because I was like, I need them a bit stronger for work, basically, because those are just flimsy and break. And then now I've terrible. I want to roll.
Because sometimes, like, when you get acrylics, when I had acrylics, I used to be like, obviously, you have to get a fresh set every now and again.
Yeah, I've never had acrylics.
I know, but with biab, I used to go through a stage of like every kind of 4 occasions, I'd be like, oh, can I have a fresh set? And I don't genuinely remember the last time I had a fresh set.
Yeah, because they just go over, And I'm just the same. I always keep having French. I need to change it.
Well, I went down a chrome route for
they were nice.
About a month. Yeah, but then I get the ick with things like that. I mean, I don't really. I've had quite a skinny French this time, and I'm really liking a skinny French.
Same. I got a skinny French. The one before was quite thick, and I was just like, oh,
I hate a thick French.
Yeah, and I was just like, got back, and I was like, oh no.
So I'm pleased that my nails are not adding to my fertility struggles.
Yeah, it's good. It's positive, I guess.
Update on that was it. I was going to say update on protocol. I don't even know what we were on. We were on 4 last time we recorded. That didn't work, and neither did 5. And I'm now literally just about to go into 6, which was meant to be the last one. I've got boxes and boxes of steroids left though.
Really?
But we will talk about my next steps. We're going to kind of do an episode on my kind of catch-uppy bit, and then this one, and then next week will be Charly's catch-uppy bit. But tell us about your general month.
Well, my general month, I feel like I've been really busy. I feel like I've watched a lot of television, but late at night. So like I'm wondering how I've crammed this in. So I bought myself an exercise bike, right? Because I can't run. I basically had to go see a physio. It got too bad. It's from being on my feet a lot of the time. I've got tendinopathy in both ankles. She basically was like, your Achilles are angry. So there was me at my physio being like, sorry, Achilles. And she's probably like, you are mental. So I've got that issue. And then I was like, I want to run. I can't run. So I just bought myself a bike. And I was like looking at different bikes and stuff. And this one kept popping up. And it has this really cool screen anyway. So it's great because I have work to do. I can do it on my bike. I can listen to the podcast and do that description on my bike. I was like, maybe I could do the podcast on my bike today. I don't know. That's one step too far.
Yeah, that was the line.
You'd be like,
you wondered where it was. That was where. Yeah.
Yeah. I walked past it. I'm like, you're so beautiful. Anyway, so
to yourself for the bike.
I need a mirror there as well. I just love it. Like, I've never got so much joy out of something for quite a long time. So it's really cool. Anyway, like Tony was like, not getting a bike. Where are you going to put that? Like, we don't have any room. And I was like, well, I'll make room. And I've made room and it's fine. And lo and behold, Tony's walked past and like, oh, can I ever go on that bike?
No, not with his balls. Absolutely not.
Well, exactly. I have said that, bikes are good for balls. But anyway,
too hot for paws.
Too hot for paws. No paws. Bike's not good for paws.
Too Too hot for balls.
Too hot. Yeah, too hot for balls. That's what you should start saying to him. Anyway, I'm digressing, but basically, I'm watching a few shows, right? But I've been watching them late at night, some of them. There's a few that I want to talk about. Firstly, there's one that Portia recommended. I think you recommended it, right? But you were like, "Oh, we should watch this," or "You should watch this." I can't remember what you said.
It came
You
up on
sent it to
Netflix,
me.
didn't it? And I was like,
Yeah.
I screenshotted it and was like, "Oh, this looks like something we should talk about on the pod."
Yeah.
Knowing full well that if Charly watched it, I wouldn't have to.
2 minutes into it, I was like, Portia's not watched this. It's dubbed. And I was like, there is no way that Portia's watched this. But I was like, do you know what? I've got a 45-minute session on the bike. I'm going to give it a chance. And I was like, if I can't get into it, I won't watch it. I knew straight away you hadn't watched it. I was just like...
Nothing like some friendly gaslighting.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what though, it was quite gripping in the end. Like once I got over, because I'm a bit like that with dubbed film. I don't know, like it takes, but I prefer that over subtitles.
Oh, is it dubbed?
Yeah, it's dubbed.
Oh, I cannot watch dubbed.
Exactly,
that's
how I knew. That's how I knew. 2 minutes in, I was like, she's not watched this. No way. Because at first it was like talking over the background, and I was just like, oh, that's really irritating. Like, because it's like talking, like it's too much. Yeah. But actually, I prefer that over subtitles because it takes me ages to read things. Yeah. So I was like, I got into it, and then I was on the bike, and I was like, I'm on now, so I'll just keep watching it. And actually, I got quite invested, and it's quite like a gripping story. It's called A Child of My Own. And it's basically about this lady who's completely delusional and how she kind of like essentially steals a baby. But like she still to this day says that she had an agreement with the mum. And like basically she like, yeah, it is really interesting. She went into prison for like 13 years and stuff. She also made friends in prison. Everyone was like, I said, she can't be that bad a human because everyone's like, oh, I miss you, Alejandro. Like when she was leaving and stuff. And I was like, she was quite sad to leave prison.
The environment you're in, like the other people who are in prison aren't really there because they're good people, are they?
True. Yeah, maybe.
I feel like Rose West made friends in prison.
Yeah, I'd make friends in prison, I guess. We would all make friends. Hopefully I'd make friends in prison. Anyway, not that I want to go to prison, obviously. But yeah, do you know what? There was a bit in the end though, because they interviewed so I don't go too much into it, but like basically they interview Alejandro, who's the one that stole the baby. They interview her husband. They interview the lady that she stole the baby from. But then alongside that, they do like a whole story. So there's actors playing them. So they play out the story and then it like obviously
sounds very overstimulating.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, I was on my bike, so I was like, this is fine. Like, I was like, this is quite interesting. It made the bike go really quickly. And basically at the end, the lady was just like, the lady who's the baby she stole, Myra, she's called. Myra was just like, they asked her, like, do you forgive Alejandro, the lady who stole the baby? And she was like, I'll never forgive her. Like, she's shown no remorse. But it turns out that like the judges ruled that Alejandro had like psychological issues and stuff. Like she had so much pressure from her husband saying that she wasn't working properly. She had like multiple miscarriages before she stole the baby. Wow. She had all this pressure from her big family, like they'd got married and she was like, when you're having babies, the babies. And it was like, so they ruled that as well. And like, they ruled that she was under a lot of pressure and she has psychological issues and things like that. But like the lady was like, I'll never forgive her. She never showed any remorse. And anyway, but now she's like out of prison, she's living her life and things like that. But I mean, it was a really like good watch once I got over the initial bit and like, it was gripping. And then it's a real life story. So like it happens. It's mental. But yeah, that was like one of them. But you don't need to watch that now. So don't worry. I'll watch that for you.
Sounds a bit morbid.
It was a bit morbid.
Yeah.
But it was interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
And then also I've been watching Clarkson's Farm. I think we talked about this before. This is like right in and out. Like Tony and I watch it together.
You're like really late to the party, aren't you? You're on
really late. I'm on season 3 now. Okay. So, but do you remember the whole bit about Pepper?
No.
There's a cow who can't get pregnant, and I was like, this could be quite triggering, like for people watching it with fertility. Like
Pepper needs a podcast. I mean, Pepper's probably dead by now, I'm guessing.
I think they did send her off to slaughter in the end
because she was really infertile.
Sad. Yeah.
Justice for Pepper.
Yeah, basically they inseminated her like 3 or 4 times, and then they got a bull in, and she didn't get pregnant with the bull. And like, there's just quite a lot of like throwaway comments and stuff. And like, obviously Jeremy gets attached, but they were like, they wanted to keep her as actually, no, they did actually end up keeping her as a pet. I got that wrong. They kept her as a pet, but then something happened with the cows, so they had to send them away. The restaurant got shut down, so they can't use the cows for meat. So they ended up sending Pepper away. So then, and the other cows, and then she got slaughtered. So she didn't get slaughtered essentially because she's infertile, but she got slaughtered at the end because she was infertile.
So we've got some real uplifting stories here of people who go psychotic because they can't have children and get slaughtered. So.
Yeah. But anyway,
we're all in this together, guys.
Yeah, there's my TV things that I've been watching. That's really it, really. Like, I've just been working, so that's how I've decompressed on a bike watching harrowing things.
Harrowing. It does sound harrowing.
But yeah, that's it really for me for this week, this month. There's been other things, but nothing like too exciting.
No. And we'll talk about them next week.
Yeah.
So we wanted to spend a bit of time talking about something has happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then we get a lot of questions about unexplained infertility and the tests and things. And we know recently I've spoken about locus medicus and the tests they've recommended, avenues and their tests they recommended. You talk about someone else? I can't remember. But locus medicus, guys. And then again, always do your own research. I don't want to put anyone off using them. I'm sure I had a really nice, I really liked them. I really want to go ahead with them, but they have ghosted me. It's happened again.
Yeah.
It's happened again. I have been ghosted again. Why does this keep happening? Like, why does no one want my custom?
It's not like you're freeloading. You're asking.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I did say, if there's any collaboration you want to do with the podcast, like we will openly speak about it. I'm not going to lie about that. But I do think, do you remember when I first contacted them, I didn't hear from them? And when I turned into the podcast, they knew who I was. And I was a bit like, well, why haven't you answered my email? And then it was okay. Well, I'd had a couple of calls with them. I did have one call that I then got, they sent me a €120 bill for, and I was like, no, I'm paying that. I never paid that. Maybe that's why I got ghosted.
Maybe that's why.
Well, no, I had a call with them again after that. I was very much asking for dates. When can I come out to Athens? I'd shared quite a lot of it on the podcast for free.
Yeah.
Well, that's maybe my €120 fee there.
Yeah.
But I was very willing to go as a paying customer. And, I always think with us, like, I'll always be very open and transparent. We, if anything, if I'm paying for my treatment, we do a podcast, I'm going to share it. Like, it's what we talk about on here. I'm hardly, I will decide how much I want to share, but there may be things I don't want to share, whatever, haven't come across that yet. But I just found it really, I don't know, to say I've been ghosted, they left me weeks. I kept emailing, like, hi, can someone just reply? It's been probably about 2 months at this point.
Yeah.
And I've not heard a peep. And it's one thing going, I'm waiting for them to email me back. And now I'm just like, I've just been dropped again.
Yeah,
maybe it must be me. At this point, I'm willing to take some responsibility of the fact that there's now 2 clinics that have ghosted me. Then the next one was Dr. Gorgie, who obviously does the tests in the UK. Now, I can't really say they're ghosting me. I did email, and basically me and Charly are in London in a few weeks, and I thought, I could go to like an appointment with Dr. Gorgie and we could film it. So I did just say, could we vlog? I've not heard back from them at all, but either. But you can book online. So I'm a bit like, you can't really say they're ghosting because I could have still just booked an appointment, but I haven't.
Maybe they.
But it just leaves a bit of a like, but not bad taste, but I'm just a bit like what? I just need my tests done.
Yeah.
So then I thought, right, back to the drawing board. Fertility.
Yeah.
We spoke about this a few weeks ago. We've got a certain influencer who is not happy with fertility. Multiple videos. I can't remember if I sent you the latest one. She's now saying they've wrecked her microbiome, and she had 0 lactobacilli. When before she'd had really good lactobacilli because she had some uterine washes.
Okay, so she's had treatment though, hasn't she?
No. Yeah, and she's saying they said that she didn't need to take probiotics after that. I'm like, just taking a load. For me, you take antibiotics, you take probiotics. Like they go hand in hand. So if you're having a uterine wash, I mean, I would have taken them, but they told her she didn't need to, whatever. I don't know the ins and outs. There's a lot of it. She's saying that her inbox is full of people who've had awful time with fertility.
That normally attracts it if you're posting about that.
But when I Google when I look on TikTok, I can't see any other videos of anyone having a bad experience other than her. But I think because it's so loud and she has such a following. And I think the problem was she had said she'd never worked with them, but she did a lot of promotion for them. Don't really know what that was happening there, but she's kind of saying, I helped build their 20,000 followers, and because of me, they've had loads of customers. And I think it's just one of those things, isn't it, to be really careful. We said this a few weeks ago, be careful what you're recommending. And like, you know, that's why we share our experiences. We don't recommend, if we recommend a product, we will say why we recommend it. But, you know, every week when I'm sharing ins and outs of price lists and things, I'm not using these companies at the minute. It's just me sharing my research. I do know people who've used Locus Medicus and they've had a really great time. And I know people who've got pregnant. She was then saying you don't hear of that many people getting pregnant from Fertility, even though they've got these like 20,000 followers. But I'm like, it's under researched. We know when you hand over that money to them, it's a risk because it's not these are not research procedures or tests. I'm ultimately in a position where I need to have these tests, in my opinion. Some people would say they're a load of shite, whatever. I want to have full immune testing before we do anything else. And that's my choice. But I'm running out of places to have this done. I've got Locus Medicus I can't go to because they're ghosting me. I've got Dr. Gorgie, who I've got his price list up. Not too different to Fertility, but Fertility you get a lot more for your money.
Yeah, see, that's when
they're very similar. And I know that Dr. Gorgie uses Fertility results to do treatment plans for people. So I was asking around the other day, I had some recommendations. I did something on TikTok. So a lot of people were saying Dr. Thumb is really good, but there was Dr. Thumb and another doctor who are part of, I think, like, you know, that like HCA group or like the Lister group or something. You can't find price lists for them online. And then I'm a bit like, I know someone else is using Dr. Sam Dobson. He's on TikTok quite a lot. I didn't see anything about autoimmune stuff on his profile though, so I don't think that was right for me either. So I've kind of been going from pillar to post thinking, I just need these tests done for the best price that I can get. The interpretation of those results, I don't think is that important because I know I could use Dr. Gorgie for that. And, nothing against him or his team. I think he's got such a good reputation. I don't know who manages it inbox. It's not going to be him, is it? Might just be like, they were like, we don't want people in vlogging and they've just chosen to ignore us. I did email from my Gmail account. Gmail accounts often look a bit spammy, don't they? So
and sometimes it does go into spam. Yeah,
it might go in spam. So, and I'm not holding that against them, but I'm also not going to rush to, I kind of then thought to myself, do I need him to tell me what tests I need? Or do I just need to get the tests done? So, and then I thought, I don't even know what these tests are. So NK cells are your natural killer cells. I think most of us probably know that. They're part of your immune system. They're not bad cells. They are there for fighting infections and they help your early placenta develop as well, which I thought was quite interesting. So NK cell profile testing will measure the number of NK cells in your blood. So sometimes it might measure the balance of those NK cell types. So some reproductive immunologists think that unusually high or altered NK populations may be associated with implantation failure or miscarriage in some people. However, it's not established that measuring NK cells routinely predicts IVF success. So basically it says this test asks, how many immune cells do I have? So that's when you hear people have too many natural killer cells. And then what they will do is see that embryo as a foreign object and attack it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Then you've got NK cell cytotoxicity. That looks at how active the NK cells are. So your NK cells, think of them as like security guards, right? So they're there like for your body. The first test is counting how many guards are on duty. The second one asks, how trigger happy are they? How likely are they to shoot you? So you've got all these security guards with the guns.
Firearm security guards.
Are they calm or do they attack very easily? What day have you caught them on? Are they having a chill day where the security guards, like they're in the club and they're like,
they went out a night
come
before.
on in, lads? Or are they going to be like, going to get you? Yeah?
So they're punch you. Bouncers.
So some specialists believe that overly active NK cells may create an inflammatory environment, hostile, that isn't ideal for implantation, although this remains an area of debate because nothing's researched. Then you've got your regulatory T cells, otherwise known as TREGs. I hear a lot about this, like, oh, my TREGs. And I was like, what's a TREG? These are probably the most fascinating immune cells. They are peacekeepers.
Oh, so
She's
we
so
like
funny,
the
isn't it?
Tregs.
If you can't tell, I ChatGPT'd this. They stop the immune system becoming overactive. So during pregnancy, they help teach the immune system the embryo isn't the infection, let it stay. Low tregs have been associated in research with pregnancy complications, obviously, because they're not there to calm everyone else down. They're like the street pastors. Do we still get them in club? Do you remember we used to have that bus in Torquay?
Yeah, they used to give you like flip-flops.
And like cups of tea and stuff, yeah. So they are like your street pastors on a night out. So you've got your uterus is your nightclub. Yeah, your NK cells are your security guards, and you've got the ones that are either going to let you in or they're going to beat you to a pulp. And then you've got outside the street pastors, which are your tregs,
the caring ones,
and they're trying to keep the peace and calm everyone down because everyone's drunk, and they're like, just calm down.
Yeah.
But again, they're still not really useful. We're certain how useful they are in fertility treatment.
Okay.
Then you've got your Th1s and Th2 cytokine ratio. I think cytokine. Cytokines are tiny chemical messages that immune cells send to each other. So now we're imagining WhatsApp messages between.
I'm loving this.
Between the
This
immune
is actually
cells.
perfect for me. Like, I think I
Isn't
need
it?
like explanations.
This is
like
how I
this.
need things explained.
Yes.
I'm literally there, like, I'm on the like
I'm fascinated.
Facebook group thing, and I'm like scrolling through, and I'm like, they're like low tregs, lads, like
Yeah,
NK
these
cell,
street
and I'm
pastors.
like literally, and now I understand it.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Th1 messages promote inflammation, so they're like winding everyone up. They're texting saying
we're rage baiting.
They are rage baiting. That is it. Th2 messages support the immune tolerance, so they're peacekeeping again. They're like, leave it, mate. Okay, just leave it.
Yeah,
calm down. So pregnancy isn't about switching the immune system off, but it's about getting the balance right. So this test asks, is my immune system sending more inflammatory messages than pregnancy-friendly ones? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Are we rage baiting the uterus, or are we supporting it?
Peacekeepers.
Then you've got lads. Lads.
Actual lads.
These are leukocyte antibody detections.
Okay.
Sounds terrifying, but isn't. This checks whether you've developed certain antibodies after exposure to your partner's immune cells. So this is what you hear the Sophie Kasai stuff, where Sophie Kasai had Fertility's treatment. She's where Fertility's blew up. She blew up their business, in my opinion. Because she was saying she was basically allergic to Jordan, and they had lit treatment. So Jordan's blood was, if you don't know Sophie Kasai, off Jordan Shore, Jordan is off Towie, they're together. She had Jordan's blood injected into her like a vaccine to calm her immune system and let her immune system know it was like safe for him. So when his sperm was in there, it touched the egg and didn't kill the embryo, because it was like, man,
we know you.
Women, man, kill. That's what mine's doing, in my opinion. I think I might be allergic to Steve.
Wow, imagine all this time.
Yeah. So, years ago, researchers thought these antibodies might represent a healthy adaptation to pregnancy. The evidence since then has been mixed, which is why it remains so controversial. I believe in America they banned the treatment for that. So it's asking whether my immune system has adapted to recognizing my partner's immune cells. If my immune system's anything like my temperament, I'd say we're probably fighting. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we've got KIR genotyping. This isn't measuring your immune system today, it's reading your DNA. KIR genes tell uterine NK cells. So you've got NK cells in your blood, but you've also got them in your lining of your uterus. You inherit these, so they tell your uterine NK cells how to behave. So you inherit these genes. You can't change them. And some KIR patterns are thought to influence how the uterus communicates with an embryo. Don't really understand much about that, to be honest, but that's all I know. However, I've heard because you can have a biopsy of your NK cells in your embryo, but apparently it can change month on month. So the biopsy is only as good as the day you have it done on, is what I've heard. From,
so yes,
the girls, not from professionals. Then you've got HLA-C. So HLA-C is another gene. This time it's found on the embryo because it comes from both mum and dad. So think of HLA-C as the embryo's ID badge. Yeah, so it's the name that goes on your tray at primary school. Your uterine NK cells read that badge. So then you've got basically your KIR, and the HLA-C compatibility. So this is the hardest bit that gets quite complicated. So you've got your KIR genes, which is a lock, and your embryo's HLA-C is the key. The question is, does this particular lock and key combination work well together? Certain combinations have been associated in some studies with implantation failure, miscarriage, or pregnancy complications. But again, not enough research. And I'm also not really sure what you do about that.
Yeah, because you can't really change that. Like,
yeah, if actually, is there like
Yeah.
something you can do? I don't know. I didn't ask that question because I've only reading this for the first time today.
That's so funny. I was reading these notes. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I literally was like, right, I kind of felt like I need to work through it on the pod live.
Yeah,
We're doing all this in live
Yeah,
time.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So then you've got, it might tell us in a minute actually, maternal HLA-C. So historically, everyone focuses on the father's HLA-C. However, new research suggests your own HLA-C may also influence how your uterine NK cells behave. Fertilicists have added this to their complete panel, which we'll come on to in a minute, because they believe it gives more complete picture of embryo-maternal immune interactions. So it's very new and not part of routine in testing everywhere. But they were basically saying it's all very well focusing on if you're allergic to your partner, but actually, are you allergic to yourself? Okay, kind of was how I interpreted that. Like, are your immune systems too overactive in your own body? Okay. Again, not sure how we're dealing with that.
Yeah.
Then you've got HLA DQA matching. So again, instead of looking at NK cells, this asks how genetically similar are you and your partner at this particular immune marker? So the theory is if you're very similar, the embryo may not stimulate the usual immune adaptations of pregnancy in quite the same way.
Does this go back to like, like when, what's it called? Incest? Like...
Maybe.
But like, that's probably like why, there's a lot of...
I'm not being funny though. Joseph Fritzl got his daughter pregnant like fucking 7 times and I'm surely me and Steve aren't related, so...
Imagine that would be a plot twist.
We shouldn't be laughing about Joseph Fritzl.
No, we shouldn't.
But yeah,
interesting.
Then you've got tests for chronic endometritis, not to be confused with endometriosis. Yep. So endometritis is, we discussed it when we talked about Alice testing. The F is Alice. Chronic endometritis is a long-term inflammation of the lining of the womb, often linked to bacteria. Many women have no symptoms. Some studies have linked it with the implantation failure and recurrent miscarriage. And if it's diagnosed, it can be treated with antibiotics. You can sometimes get uterine washes for that, but that will probably deplete your bacteria, even if someone says it wouldn't. I don't know why you wouldn't take probiotic anyway, but whatever.
Yeah.
Endometrial and vaginal microbiome testing. I'm saying all of this by the way because I'm going to cover it in a minute as to why I'm telling you all this. That's your uterus and your vagina contain bacteria. So this is your EMA testing. It's normal to contain bacteria, but the question is, have the helpful bacteria been replaced by bacteria that might create inflammation? I found it quite interesting because obviously my lactobacilli was really low, but I didn't have any bad bacteria taking that place. So I don't know what was in there. But anyway, whatever. So yeah, research is still kind of looking at, the impact of that, but we know we do EMA testing in the UK, so yeah. There's also hidden infection panels, so looking at organisms such as bacteria, candida, like your yeast, sexually transmitted infections, and viruses such as CMV, which we've talked about before, EBV, HS and HHV6, and all that is. The idea is to rule out infections that could contribute to inflammation. Okay. So it's just basically a series of tests there that you can dip in and out of for various days. Yeah. However, so I had a look at where you get these tests. So obviously it's quite interesting because Locus Medicus hadn't actually offered barely any of them. It was a hysteroscopy to microbiome, and they'd focused quite a lot on Steve. But
I was going to say they do stuff for Steve, don't they?
Yeah, well, they were thinking more of like getting pregnant naturally, whereas I kind of at the moment I'm thinking, well, we have got 4 embryos. Okay. Yeah. So I'm kind of going back to that, but whatever. So Dr. Gorgi also has a panel. So he is very leading reproductive immunologist in the UK. There's only a few of them. So I looked at his price, and he has a price list, again, very transparent, very helpful.
Like that.
So I compared him to Fertilicists. So his panel is £1,545. Fertilicists is €1950. So it was £1,167.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to compare them side by side. NK cell function. So that is like, what are they doing? How active are they? How many of them are they? Dr. Gorgi and Fertilicists both offer that. Nice. Your Th1, Th2 cytokines, so your rage betas and your peacekeepers, both offer that. TREGs. Dr. Gorgi doesn't offer TREG testing, which are they are the ones that say calm down the immune system.
The pastas, yeah.
So if you don't have enough street pastas, your immune cells are going to be wild.
Okay.
He doesn't offer the testing for that, but Fertility does.
Okay.
Your lads, they both offer lads.
Mm-hmm.
They both offer the HLA-DQA matching, which is, are you two genetically similar to your the incest test?
Yeah, the incest. At least you
They
remember
both offer
it.
that. Dr. Gorgie doesn't mention the KIR-HLA-C test, which I believe is good back to lock and key. Do your combination work well together? Are you allergic to your partner test?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't offer that, but Fertility does.
Mm-hmm.
Then maternal HLA-C, they don't test for Gorgie, but that's new for Fertility. They do. So that's to kind of see how you kind of attacking yourself kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly, in this whole panel that Dr. Gorgie had, it seemed to include intralipids. And I was thinking, is this not just a test? But it said intralipid on there. Fertility don't offer intralipids because it's just a test, not treatment. And this Fertility one is the home one, by the way, that you order to your house.
Yeah, that's ideal. Yeah.
In part of, so you could have some of these done. Fertility do like an immune panel. I was looking at the complete panel because I do want to test my microbiome because obviously it had some issues. I would like to do the one where you give period blood to test it rather than, I wouldn't do the day vaginal one again, I don't think, because it was a bit surface level for me because it was kind of clear, wasn't it? It was nothing too much in it, apart from the low lactobacilli, which I've been necking the probiotics, so I would assume has
upped it.
So they will also test, in the Fertility one, for chronic endometritis, your microbiome for your vaginal and endometrial, because you're doing period blood, bacterial and STI testing, and then a viral panel, so the EBV. So that would be quite interesting, the EBV, because I'm wondering if that actually comes from period blood rather than
maybe
blood, to see if it's like you've got those cells in your
because that would be more like that's the area, isn't it? That's the area you want to work with. So
I'm leaning towards Fertility, and I've asked a few people, like, and also, did you know Fertility, they're about to start doing EndoSure, the saliva test?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because I asked them about that and thought, in for a penny, in for a pound, let's maybe add that on. You can add it onto a microbiome test at the minute, I believe. But when I asked if they did it by itself, they said no, but they were like, we'll take your email and let you know when we do. Now, with Fertility, you can often get packages. They do offers where you can get 10% off. You can sometimes get fast-tracked results. And you can get a follow-up with their doctors. So they've got Dr. V. I met Dr. V, didn't I, when I went to
the fertility
show. I really like Dr. V. That influencer who's had a lot of problems with them has also had a call with Dr. V, and she did say he was actually really good and wasn't aware of some of the problems, and you know, she felt that aired some of her concerns. It's quite interesting because he then also, I noticed he did a thing about a few videos about when you have a uterine wash. He was basically saying it's better to have a low lactobacilli dominant microbiome with no infection. So basically, if as long as you've got rid of the infection, it doesn't really matter that you don't really have the best microbiome. In his professional opinion, obviously everyone's going to have different opinions.
Everyone's that's what boils down to, is that everyone's going to have their thing, and that's just like focus. But I guess you don't want infection, so that's like the
but also
thing.
Then I don't know if I would need treatment. Would I keep traveling to Greece when I'd have to go to Turkey to do IVF again, or would I be better off getting these results and taking them to Dr. Gorgie, 250 quid for an appointment with him, and him talking through the results with me and having lit treatment in the UK is extortionate in the UK.
How much is it in the UK?
About £1,000 a pop, and you need to have more than one. But by the time you've paid for flights and all that jazz, and you need to, Steve has to give blood, you have to go together because Steve has to give blood, they have to make it into a vaccine. I know that when Sophie got pregnant, Sophie, my mate, Sophie Kasai,
Sophie got pregnant.
I remember her partner went to, like, flew to Athens to get the injection made and came back and gave her the jab because she was high risk to fly because of being early pregnancy and stuff. So it would probably make more sense to do, if I needed stuff like that, to do it in the UK. Unless, I think if you go for, like at the beginning, I think you need a few lit treatments if that's what you need. So I think it might make more sense to go out there and do them all in a row. Because you're only paid for one flight then, aren't you? And get them all done cheap and then come back. But I don't know.
I feel like, what's your gut telling you? I feel like
I want to go for, I actually was planning on going with Fertility until I found locus medicus. And I thought they're less well known. You know, they were very much going for the tailored approach, which fertilicists don't. It is a complete, you can pick your different tests, but like, they come in groups, if that makes sense.
What would you do now if like locus medicus all of a sudden messaged you?
I just think like, I've got a fertility journey. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not being in a rush to do it, have I? But I actually would like to do this in the next. I'm about to ovulate, and I've just actually emailed Fertility this morning saying, how clear of the steroids do I have to be to have the test done? Because if I say what I'd kind of like to do is maybe do it on like next month's period, which is in like 6 weeks. So that's the end of September, beginning of October. Again, I don't know if I'd bother fast tracking the results. You have to pay for that.
Okay. Well, how long do they normally take? And what's the fast track? Like, surely it's not much
different. But apparently because they're so busy now, I mean, this might do me a favour because that woman's kicked off about them. Maybe less people using them.
There we go.
But it's been so popular, obviously.
People.
So many people have unexplained fertility though, and like
and people want to get to the root cause.
I follow quite a lot of people who have done fertility tests. They might not have had treatment with fertility, but the test. I mean, the testing ultimately is more in depth than what I would be paying Dr. Gorgie for. For £100 more, and basically for £100 more, I will get more tests and my whole microbiome done. I liked Fertility. I don't think, there's people have negative experiences everywhere. Like, look at me. I was ghosted by my first IVF clinic. I've now not had the best experience of locus medicus. Like, I know people, and some of our listeners have had lovely experiences with locus medicus and had a really great time.
And I
found
think
it really affordable because it was cheaper. This is the other thing you've got to remember. For the same price as that Fertility, I would have been having a full hysteroscopy. Now, I did email, I did text my Antalya clinic. I know I said I was going to do this ages ago and I never did. And I said, hi, like when you did my hysteroscopy, was there any signs of inflammation? She said no. But they don't tend to check, they don't act like they're checking for it. But she was a bit like, if there'd been inflammation, we'd have told you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I guess if they would have, because they're quite good at that. They would like anything that flags out, they'd want to like.
And obviously, about £500-700 of that testing for locus medicus was for Steve. Now, we've not really got the reason to believe Steve is a problem.
But would you go forward getting tests with Steve? Because I do feel like surely it's better to have a bigger picture anyway, even if they do come back and they're fine.
Well, no, because I've got embryos in the freezer at the minute. I think our testing is... if this came back clear, then whoa.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it will. I think, and I kind of almost think like, and I'm really careful about the way I say this, to miscarry a baby, it's had to implant, right? I've never miscarried because it's never implanted. I reckon mine must be off the fucking charts.
Okay.
How is a baby never implanted? When you've had a miscarriage, and I'm not trying to dull anyone's, I would absolutely hate to have gone through a miscarriage. I think it's the most awful thing to have to go through, but your body's let it in at some point. My body's, we're not letting anything in.
So they've either got really strong security guards.
My security guards are as unhinged as I am.
And rage baiters.
It's very in line with my personality, is what I'm saying. It's very on brand of me to have these problems.
Steve.
And I've started this new job, which, by the way, oh God, I just love them so much because
you can tell you love it as well.
But I've had some really good conversations with people. Like my boss yesterday was like, "What's going on?" Because obviously it's all over TikTok, isn't it? Like she knows I've got a podcast. And I did that thing of like, I'm not planning on getting pregnant. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to start here and get pregnant. I think I would like to do the testing in October. We could have gone to see Dr. Gorgie, but we need to sort our London trip out, but we've got other stuff to do in London. So I think, and also I was a bit like, I did say to him in my email, if it's a no, I'll just book an online consultation. But now I'm kind of thinking, I don't think I need the online consultation. I think I will just do the Fertility panel. I know plenty of people who've got pregnant from doing that treatment. It's the it's the treatment that is more complex because there's loads of different things you can have. I follow a girl on TikTok at the minute who's also under Dr. Gorgie. I think she might have done her testing through him, actually. I'm not sure, but she's always talking about lads and like different things. So
Tregs and lads.
Tregs, it's just I've always been like kind of nodding along when I'm watching them, like, yeah, cool. Now
it's a little bit, I understand it a lot more.
Yeah. So I think my next step is to organise that. I might reach out to Fertility. What I might ask Fertility for is when I was at the fertility show, they had an offer on that was like 10% off, and free fast track. Now, what I might do
okay.
is say, because I went to the fertility show and I had a consultation with Dr. V there, can they honour that even though it's a few months later? Because
why not?
I mean, I'm not going to share, like, I will share my journey on this podcast. I'm not going to work, like, they don't work with influencers anyway. I asked at the fertility show. Not that I'm an influencer, but I was a bit like, do you work with people?
Yeah,
Like,
but you share content
because
and stuff, and
everyone
you've
always
got
says, oh,
presence.
fertilicists have given that influencer free. I don't know whether they do or not. They told me they didn't.
Yeah.
And even this woman now who's saying, I feel really bad because I sent so many of you to them, is now claiming she wasn't paid. So I think she was. I think, but then I think you can't feel guilty because you were just sharing your experience at the time, and that's her experience. Her experience has now changed, and I just think, reminder to everyone: don't ever go to anywhere on someone's recommendation. Do your own research.
Yeah, doing research. Yeah,
bear it in mind. I saw Sophie Kasai was like she got pregnant, I want to go. Then it was only because I've been recommended locus medicus. Then there was the whole plan your baby thing came up with, should I get hydroxychloroquine? But I just feel at the minute I'm kind of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it'll stick. Whereas let's just get this full comprehensive testing panel done.
Go from there.
I don't have any reason to believe now, like Turkey would not have risked their success rates on me having an inhospitable womb.
It reminds me of Monica from Friends.
Literally. So we think I do have an inhospitable womb. But anyway, I think I'm going to do the fertility testing, and I will share my experience, not to promote them,
but to share. But
I am just for complete clarity. I am going to ask them if I can have 10% off in a fast track.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I
only just come up with that then. I might change my mind, but not because I'm working with it. And I'll be very clear that means I share as much of my journey as I want. Which
it's on your terms, isn't it? Which is better. Anyway, that's good. That's what you want. You want to share what you want to share.
I mean, 10% off's not a massive amount, is it? It's like 160 quid. But the fast track, I think, is like a few £100. But I would say me fast tracking the results is for the benefit of the pod.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know,
because you all want to know what they are now.
We will want to know.
Basically, the long story short is I'm going to give it a go to do these tests. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I think
go for it. As long as your gut is feeling that as well, I think go for it. You've done your research now. You know what you want. Go do that. Go from there. And you just want some more answers,
really. I'm desperate to know what my microbiome's looking like.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? I've not seen much on TikTok. People documenting how you actually do the tests in the bloods, and because you have to pay. I am going to have to pay because that's the other thing I thought about Dr. Gorgie. It might work out better because I'm guessing they just take the blood. You have to travel to London, but then they would take the blood. Whereas this, I'm guessing I'm going to have to pay for someone to take my blood and fill the vials.
Yeah,
I might go to Cherish and Sutton Coldfield for that. So, moving on. I've just looked down at between the lines, and instead of icing, I've just read that as licking, and now I'm like, biohackers licking their balls.
Imagine if that was a trend.
They are not. They are icing them.
That's really what the men want you to do.
So we talk a lot about icing balls and ice packs and Tony's experience with that.
Yeah.
There are, Brian Johnson, who's that really well-known biohacker. He was on the Kardashians. Yeah. He, by the way, was it Vogue Williams was talking about him the other day on my therapy? Did you listen to that episode? I'm not sure if you're behind.
No, I'm a bit behind, I think. For those.
Oh God, I'm so on top. Anyone got any good podcast recommendations? Can't send them to me because I'm in the car so much more now. I get burn through my podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is recently, I'm sure he's been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. Everyone's a bit like, should you have one if you're biohacking? Can't remember the ins and outs of it though. But Brian Johnson claims to have 4 times the average sperm count. So I googled what that was. The average sperm count is 39 million per ejaculate. So 4 times that's like 160,000.
That's like insane amounts.
Yeah. He does daily sauna with an ice pack strapped to his balls. So he's getting the benefits of the sauna, but without the.
I was wondering if you could go in the sauna and then like put an ice pack in.
Well, it also doesn't say if it's an infrared sauna. It might be infrared, but it says sauna, so I'm guessing normal sauna.
Yeah.
This started, I read it for him, where one man said he does 10 minutes of ice packs 3 to 4 times a day. So like 30 to 40 minutes a day of icing his balls. Major improvement from morning wood and general hormones, which I can only attribute to an increase in testosterone. After a year of this, he claimed to have the highest levels of testosterone he's ever had. It was blood tests that found that. Doctors... but it's worth noting that doctors advise cutting down on alcohol, avoiding smoking, and activities that apply constant heat and pressure, like cycling or sitting in a sauna, rather than going to the extremes like Brian and his pals are doing.
Yeah. I mean, also, we don't know, like, although he's got lots of sperm, like, we still don't know his quality of the sperm. Like, is it good quality? Like, But I suppose with a lot of
Got kids,
sperm,
guessing so.
yeah. I guess with a lot of sperm, there's more chances of good quality sperm.
But the more
And
sperm you've got, it doesn't really matter
yeah,
as much with
yeah,
like
exactly.
how much of it is crap, because there's so many more that are going to be all
Yeah,
right.
to be fair, when we went for our IVF round, Tony was icing his balls every day, like for about 30, 40 minutes with those. Remember those little ice packs that I've told you about? Like he'd put them on and then.
Did he do it? This is what I find interesting though. Was it all in one go, or was he doing it in, I wonder it's better to do it in sessions. Like
What do you
10
mean?
minutes,
Like
10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So like 4 times a day rather than in one 40-minute session.
oh
It's
yeah,
not
no,
the
he
same
was just
thing.
doing it. He was just doing it in the evening when he was like laying down
Maybe we
watching
should
TV.
ask him to try 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah, actually, it's quite nice and relaxing.
Maybe that
well.
keeps the temperature regular throughout the. Do you know what I mean? Like regulates temperature throughout the day rather than just for one period of time.
Well, really, he needs to be wearing them when he's like in hot environments, like by the fryer. He always says like the fryer's not hot, but like because the heat rises, it comes out the top. But actually, like when you're there, like the gazebo is really hot.
Have you got a
sometimes.
thermometer?
Yeah, and it's hot. We've tested it. There's sometimes like 40 degrees in there. Oh no, it's no.
I mean, no. Why
It's
don't you
a
put one in?
food
Why don't you put one in
thermometer.
his pants? Oh no, don't use that. Why don't you get a normal thermometer and put it in his pants and see how hot it is? We could do. This would be a really
That could be
good
a test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do that as homework?
Can you ask him, because I feel like he'll listen to you.
Right. I'll spit with Tony. I've got a job for you.
Portia's got a job.
Portia wants you to get a thermometer and put it in your pants.
He needs like someone else other than me to ask him. I mean, I could just
don't know
buy
why
him
he'd be more likely to do it from me.
because to take it more seriously.
That's probably a bigger problem if he is.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he'll listen to this and then he'll actually get a thermometer.
Oh,
maybe he'll order one off Amazon. Not the food prep thermometer, obviously.
No, just to clarify for anyone attending any Soulfighters events.
We won't be using that.
No, get a little cheap one off Amazon.
Yeah.
We can do a Temu thermometer. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can take it down to the
it doesn't
70. We can get a few then. They could be more single use.
Yeah, exactly.
But we could just thermometer sent to your house.
Yeah, it's your gift. We just order it and we'll do it. Like we're doing this. It's great. Because that'd be really interesting actually. To see what his temperature is when he's working. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But it's not even that. It's like he's like sometimes dry, like in the van for like.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. We could have a table, van.
Yeah. Oh, a spreadsheet.
Unit,
I do quite like a spreadsheet.
Heaters, exercise.
Yeah. What would be interesting actually?
Resting temperature.
And even like
nighttime, morning.
Yeah, nighttime, morning. And even in this, because sometimes like he puts like another layer on him, and I'm like, why are you having that layer? It's not that cold. But like even we could even go into the sauna and see what the temperature his balls are with an ice pack on. See if that does actually. That would be quite interesting to know.
Sounds quite busy now. Made yourself a whole. It'd be a really good TikTok.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Come ice our balls with us.
Ice our balls. You'll probably need to ice your area after all that biking.
Yeah. Oh my god. The other day I was like, oh, I'm a bit sore. And I was like, why am I sore? And I was like, oh yeah, my bike.
You got the bike around the time that I was staying in a hotel which had a Peloton.
Yes.
Well, and I was like, Charly, I was like, it's no, my god.
Yeah.
I've lost all the feeling.
I think it's kind of good, could it? I think it just takes. I've got a padded seat on mine as well, so
yeah. You were like, what's the seat like on the Peloton? I was like, rough. It was like literally, it was horrible.
Yeah,
you're meant to get used to it. I didn't have time to get used to it. I just did 3 sessions and that was that.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah,
I'm back there tomorrow actually, but I don't think I'll go to the gym.
It's cool that it has that. You can get the Peloton app and then use it on my bike. Actually, it's not a Peloton bike, but obviously they're really expensive.
I just like the instructors, like, woo!
Yeah. I can download that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then quickly to close the page, we've been chatting for a really
quickly.
Time.
Yeah, I'll keep this short and sweet.
We really have been. I don't know how we're going to edit this today.
Good luck.
Cyprus sperm updates. We spoke about this probably for you not that long ago, maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So there was that. This is just the plot thickens.
The plot things. I listened to a little 37-minute long chat on BBC Player about the lady who was investigating it.
Oh, you probably know more about it than me then, because I literally got that. So we obviously had these parents of the children that they feared they'd been given the wrong donor sperm, or egg donors, they said, but it was the sperm we were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now the number has risen to 30. So the clinic was, I call it Doge. 15 children were born from procedures, and then they did the DNA test, and that's what we talked about last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But so we'd said at the time, surely they don't have their own sperm in-house. They'd have to be using a bank. And that's kind of where we left the conversation, wasn't it? So the sperm bank, Cryos International, basically have said that the sperm wasn't ordered.
Yeah. That's essentially what's happened. No one's really taking accountability, though. That's the thing.
Well, but then that's what we said at the time. So I was like, why would the clinic take accountability when the sperm, they don't source the sperm donors? But now the plot thickens. So now it's a bit like, has the admin woman who was meant to be ordering it not ordered it? In which case, whose sperm is it? I think it's the doctor's.
The doctor's sperm?
If you're not getting sperm from a sperm bank, where are you getting it from? You'd be like, oh crap, we've got to fertilise these eggs. Quick, go.
Well,
I think he's got a God complex.
Really?
I think
because well, they were saying that they think that some of the children are from Turkish descent.
Yes, they were all the DNA test showed like Turkish and like and it's North Cyprus, so that is the Turkish area. So that would make sense. So are they just getting local people off the street, or has he got some weird God complex? Which
my God.
I kind of think in that level of work you'd have to have a bit, because you are literally creating lives, right? There's got to be a tiny bit of God complex in there somewhere, because like even as an embryologist or like fertility consultant, you are literally the power of someone creating life or not. I wonder if he's a bit like, I've got super sperm, because he's probably sat testing it every day because he's like in the lab, like stick mine through, see what it's like. Maybe he's got a good sample and it's like,
these are my children. Imagine.
Because you give those sperm donors, you give like loads and loads of sperm. Yeah. If not, then it's been some kind of back street,
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe they've just got they've got some people, they've got some sperm from people, like just random people.
But then why not just order it from the clinic? But then was it costing them to order?
Or they forgot. Did someone forget? But they can't.
So this is the thing. The admin woman is like not responsive, and they're basically like, this surely fits on you. But then she's obviously managed by the clinic. Oh, I don't know. But isn't it weird that the sperm bank had actually said they'd blacklisted the clinic anyway and wouldn't work with them?
Really?
Yeah, I think there's been some issues before.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's just crazy.
And it's massively unregulated, like we know this is the whole thing. But I do think you could go down this hole, but at the end of the day, you've got a healthy child.
Well, this is what they were saying in the interview. They interviewed a same-sex couple who had 2 children who they weren't biologically related at all now.
Yes, because it was one that both of their eggs, wasn't it? And then different sperm donors.
Yeah. And they did a at-home DNA test, but then that wasn't regulated in court. So then, or like known in court. So then they did a proper one, and then they were set it was confirmed that they were not related. And then they were just saying that actually, we have our family, and like the children were interviewed as well. And they were saying the girl had a different opinion, but she was saying, we love each other. We're a family. Like,
are they
we've
like
grown
7?
up together. Yeah, they're a bit older. They're quite well.
That's too young to be having that conversation with a child. No,
I think the girl is slightly older. I'm not sure. I can't remember how old they said. I think
unless she's over 18, I don't think we should have interviewed her.
We should have interviewed.
They shouldn't. As a population, she shouldn't have been interviewed.
Yeah, maybe she
doesn't know enough. I think it's one of those things in the future, isn't it? Like it would probably, I said, the sense of belonging to know that your brother was your biological brother. Even
they interviewed the brother as well, and he was more upset that he was, because they thought they had a Danish father, so they don't have a Danish father. And then apparently the kid was telling everyone like that he's from Danish descent. So obviously they've been really open with their children, how they were conceived and stuff.
Listening to? Oh, there's been a couple of girls in the fertility community who are using donor eggs. One's using a donor embryo and one's using donor eggs. And the one using donor eggs is working with the clinic CRGH in London.
Yeah.
And she's been explaining quite a lot of the process. And she was saying about how the donor, they can only have so many families. We've spoken about that before, haven't we? Like they can only give to like 10 people.
Yeah.
And when their child is 18, they will be able to access the records of who their donor is, because they're doing it in the UK.
Yeah.
So that's the regulations here. So I'm guessing it's not the same there, because otherwise they've been given like a random person who doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think they can say they were saying that they can, when they sign the consent, like the donor, they say whether they want
in the UK.
No, in
abroad.
Prior.
It's awful that's happened, and yes, you've got to raise awareness that it doesn't happen again. I completely agree with
and I think that's what they said. They're like, literally,
like,
at least it will help other people, raise awareness. So
timely update for that.
Yeah.
And then positive affirmation to end. This is just me telling myself to get a grip. Not having answers does not mean I have no hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have answers, but I still have hope.
Have hope. Lovely.
Now,
That's
guys,
really
we're going to
nice.
move on to the bonus. We're going to move over. It's just us two on the bonus. So we are moving across. So come and listen for some recos
And don't
and a
forget to let us
dilemma.
know what you think about the bonus, so then we can,
Yeah.
you know, go from there, basically.
Please let us know what you think. Like some of you are really good at reaching out and you'll send us your dilemmas and chat to us and things. But those of you who don't, tell us. We need to know. And you know, our ethos, whatever you want to call it, is always just to make sure that no one has to feel alone going through this journey.
Yeah.
So if we can do that for at least a few of you, which we know we do, then that's all that matters.
That's what we're here for.
Right, then we'll see you on Thursday, guys. Don't forget on that note to like, follow, subscribe, and message us.
Write a review.
Right. Bye, guys.